Should have pooped before this.
Make a lot of noise for Erik Escobar.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Oh my God. So I was at this Walmart in Arizona. I fucked up. All right, starting over the whole special. Daniel, get back in here. Danielle, Greg, I'm sorry. I messed your name up. Clap it up for Daniel Eachus, everyone. Jay Aquino, John Yabes. Oh, man. I love Jay and John. They're the only two comics I know who can do a whole set with their eyes closed. Isn't that impressive? Absolutely amazing. Very big fan. Yes. This has been fun. You guys have been a good crowd. I like Beanie a lot. What's your name, sir? Vlad, of course. All right, cool. You look like a Vlad. That really looks great. I like you a lot because what I notice is this whole crowd is great. You guys are laughing, having a good time. Clap it up for yourselves. You're doing great. Vlad, I was watching the show from over there. I love you. I'm obsessed with you, all right? You're great. I love you because I like how you don't laugh, all right? It's my special. And you don't laugh. This is what you do. Every time Vlad likes a joke, watch him. He just gives a nod of approval, all right? Every joke, Vlad, you're just like... Beautiful. That's great. That's wonderful. And is this your wife over here? Who's this? All right, cool. How long have you guys been married?
We're not married.
Oh, okay. You're a liar. That's what's going on. Vlad is a liar. She was like, do you want to marry me? Vlad's just like... But you guys are dating? Cool. How long have you been together?
Very recently.
Oh, you're striking out a lot, Vlad. That's been times. All right, that's cool. Well, that's really exciting. That's wonderful. Do you have any married couples in the house? Any married couples? All right. Oh, cool. Oh, there we go. I like how Vlad's like, yeah, and you guys are just like, nah, maybe. All right, you guys are gonna double date later. That's great. How long have you guys been together?
Since December.
December. Oh my God! Clap it up for that. Newly. We actually probably got married around the same time. I got married December 30. Look at that. Very exciting. It's great, man. I'm so excited I finally met the one. You know what I mean? I finally met the one to be my first ex-wife. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be great. It's weird. We're starting to get a little frisky in the bedroom. We started role-playing. Do you guys ever role-play, Vlad? You ever do any of that? Oh, it's great. For those of you who don't know, it's wonderful. It's when you and your partner get in the bedroom and you play with each other's roles. You know what I'm talking about? I'm a little Pillsbury Dough baby. Woo! There you go. I love it. We do this thing in the bedroom. I like it a lot. Everyone should do it. It involves a sound effect. I'm going to go right here. Give me a sound effect, sir. Any sound effect?
Nay.
Oh, okay. Filled a lot of sadness. Locked and loaded. I like it. Nay. Oh man, this is what we do. I think it's really boring when you're doing your thing and you're like, oh, I'm finished. I'm done. Super boring. I think everyone should get an orgasm sound effect. All right? How fun would that be? I like yours and be a little nay. What is that? That's great. Or you know, Vlad's just a I mean, there you go. I get it? I got it. All right. She's like, I've known him long enough. We've been married long enough. Just kidding. Not very. Oh, man. You guys have been together for a while. What's his sound effect? Yahoo! Yahoo! I think that's a lot of the gentleman's sound effect in here. Like, oh, woo! Finally. Just anything. This is the best couch I've ever... We had a show earlier, and I had a really great answer. I was like, what's a good orgasm sound effect? This guy in the back just yells out, thank you. That's brilliant. Oh, thank you. The other person's like, you're welcome? Nay. I don't know. Gentle nod. I like it. It's weird. We got married, moved in with her, and it was weird because I thought we would move in together and I would still watch all of my shows. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm still gonna watch basketball, baseball. No, we've been streaming The Bachelor for the past 7 months, all right? So horrible. Every episode, when they level up in the relationship, they get a rose. Very sweet, not very realistic, all right? Because when I was single and dating, I never got a rose when I leveled up, all right? Like, I just got chlamydia. You know what I mean? That was the only thing. Not as smelly, I'll tell you that much. Not smelly. I think it's wild, man, because you move in together. Like, I like scary movies. You got any horror movie fans out there? Anyone like horror movies? They're great, but she doesn't like them. She's like, oh, Eric, they're too scary for me. And I'm like, babe, you think a horror movie is too scary, but you will make me listen to a 2-hour true crime podcast about a lady killing her husband in the woods, all right? Like, that is not very, nay, where'd that come from? All right, why are you getting off on this? Put down the spoon, baby, put down the spoon. Very odd. I feel like I've grown as a man being with her, which I really appreciate. I'm better at showering. It's a weird thing, never thought I would level up in that. Well, here's the thing. We move in together. I now have a shower with like 8 types of shampoo, all right? 8 types. Do I look like a man that needs any shampoo, all right? I'm like, what is all this lavender goodness? What's going on? And it's weird because she takes these like crazy showers, body washes, oils, all that stuff. You know what I had when I was living alone and single? 1 bar of soap, all right? Not 1 brand, 1 bar. I had it for 30 years. My dad gave it to me. His dad gave it to him. My great-grandfather forged it in the mountains of the Philippines. You know what I mean? Those Irish Spring Filipino springs. That's weird, man. She takes these crazy showers. I don't do that, man. I would just get my 1 bar of soap and I would just kind of like wash one area till I came. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, nay. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. It's weird moving in together because I realized that I'm actually a very private person, likes privacy, and she doesn't understand privacy, all right? Like, first week we moved in together, I was peeing in the bathroom, just peeing in the bathroom. She walks in, no knock, no what's up, and I look at her, and I'm like, babe, what are you doing in here? And she looks at me, and she's like, babe, what are you doing to our sink? You know what I mean? It's very, very confusing. It's wild. We eat a lot of takeout. We do a lot of the DoorDash, all that stuff. And it's weird because I feel like we eat out so often, or we get ordering so often, that now we've amassed this like giant drawer full of just like plastic forks and knives. You know what I mean? It's always just full of it. And these knives are horrible. You know what I mean? Like some cut pretty well. Others you can barely finish the circumcision. You know what I mean? It really is very difficult. No, nay on that one. No, that is not a good one to nay on. I love her, though. I feel like one of the reasons I love her so much is I used to have some pretty bad roommates. Like, clap it up if you've ever had a horrible roommate. Anyone have a bad roommate here? A few people, I get it. If you're quiet right now, you were the horrible roommate. All right, Vlad? All right, there you go. All right. I think it's wild, man. I had the worst roommates for the longest time. The worst roommates. They were loud. They were messy. They were my parents. You know what I mean? Very annoying. And it was weird living at home for so long. I remember one time my mom caught me smoking. Freaked out. I was like, what's the big deal? It's only meth. But my mom, she's super cute. I love her. She's a little Filipino lady, got a thick Filipino accent. Like I remember growing up, she would say things like, oh, Eric, do you want to see the ocean? Do you want to go see the water? Do you want to see the beach? And I was be like, Mom, what'd you say? She's like, oh, do you want to see the beach? I'm like, Mom, I don't want to see Grandma right now. All right, please, get off my back. Not a fan. I love the way she talks, though. It's adorable. I think it's cute because she says some things like a different way than like Americans. You know what I mean? Because she grew up in the Philippines. Like instead of saying air conditioning, she calls it the aircon. You know what I mean? Like instead of refrigerator, she calls it frigidaire. You know what I mean? Even instead of comedian, she pronounces it disappointment. You know what I mean? It really is pretty great. I love it. My mom's Filipino, dad is Mexican. Fun being Mexipino. All right, fun little mix. I like it. It's just odd because I feel like I'm so ethnically ambiguous. Wherever I am, I'm always confused for another race. Like I was just in Florida, everyone thought I was Cuban. All right, I was just in Hawaii, everyone was like, "Oh, you must be Samoan." Even here in LA, everyone thinks I'm a drug dealer. So it really is a good mix to have. I'm a big fan. I think it's wild though, because being Mexican Filipino, they kind of like average each other out. Like Filipinos, we lose our hair super early. So as a Filipino man, I started losing my hair in high school. All right, in high school. But it's okay, because since I'm half Mexican, by the time I was in kindergarten, I could grow a mustache. You know what I mean? It really was a good come up. I like it. What's wild, man, is I think they kind of weirdly like even each other out. And the names are super interesting. The names are fascinating. Like Filipinos have strange names, Mexicans have weird names. Like on the Filipino side, great example, I have this Filipino uncle named Boy. All right? I have my Uncle Boy. How lazy were my grandparents? All right? Was it like, here's your boy, what do you want to name him? Yes. That is good enough. Yes, boy, I like it. I feel like it's a badass name, though. What if we were all named after the first thing they saw? Boom, when we were born. You know what I mean? Just like my Uncle Boy. Because then I'd be like, what's up? I'm Baby Boy. You know what I mean? Like, here's my wife. She's Baby Girl. Here's my daughter. Her name is Premature. And here's my son, my very handsome son. His name is Why Is He Black? All right, I don't get it. He looks like our attractive neighbor. I think something is afoot. It's his dick. It's a foot long. Those are not my genes, all right? Those are not my genes. Very confused. I feel like Latinos have weird names too, man. Like, I have a crazy last name. My last name is Escobar, and everyone hears it, and who do you think about? Pablo. My whole life, everyone's like, oh, Escobar, are you related to Pablo? Are you in a cartel? And it doesn't really bother me, because they'll be dealt with. All right, they will be taken care of for sure. I love my parents a lot, so call them once a week. It's always kind of a tough conversation to have, but last week I called my mom. She asked me a very interesting question. She was like, oh, Erik, are you pro-gay people? I was like, what kind of question is that? She's like, oh, are you pro-gay people? And I was like, Mom, I'm not even amateur gay people. All right? Like, I didn't know they even organized a league. You know what I mean? Like, I'll do fantasy gay. Who am I going to draft? Where's the audition? Not a tryout. It's an audition. All right, let's get it straight. My dad's a tough one. My dad says stuff all the time. I always got to correct him. Like, one time, my dad referred to me as Oriental. All right. I was like, Dad, it's 2023. We don't say Oriental. Say Asian, Asian American. One time, he referred to me as heavyset. I was like, Dad, that's super outdated. It's 2023. We don't say heavyset. We say like plus sized or extra sexy. You know what I mean? But the thing that broke my heart, my dad got mad at me a few weeks ago. I called him up, and my father called me a pussy. And I was like, Dad, that's not okay. It's 2023. We don't call people pussies anymore. We call them Gen Z. All right, that is pretty much the new title for him. I can't talk. I'm a millennial. Everyone hates millennials. All right, this is the one jab I got. You're the one people we can make fun of. Millennials are tough, man. Have y'all talked to 32-year-olds? It's like you're talking to 32-year-olds. All right, very ADD. We're always crying. We can't get jobs. I don't like it. I feel like we're so weird because we grew up with like social media, the internet, smartphones. I can't do anything without my iPhone, all right? Like I was taking a poop today, realized I didn't bring my phone with me, and I started crying, all right? Like, started crying, freaked out, finished my business, and then I got out of the pool. And that was the worst birthday party I've ever been to. Absolutely horrible. Parents raised me in LA, but I got married. I recently moved to Anaheim, which is very exciting. Lived in Anaheim, California, or as they call it locally, Anacrime. You're funny, Orange County. Very funny. All right, you're great. I feel like it does live up to its name. Anaheim is a very, very odd place. The first night we moved there, someone got shot right outside our apartment. All right, and I was freaking out because it was the first time I've ever used a gun. All right, guys, it was very scary. This isn't my DoorDash order. Ah! Oh, it is. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm sorry. Oh, man. I like it. There's a little game I like to play in my neighborhood. It's called Homeless or Hipster. It's very, very fun. Here are the rules. You can all play along at home. If they're like asking for drugs, probably homeless. You know what I mean? If they're like in a cool coffee shop, probably a hipster. If they got like a big old beard and they're pushing around like a grocery cart full of empty PBR cans, I don't know. All right, that one goes either way, maybe both. I think it's strange. Anaheim has a lot of gun owners. Everyone's like, oh, do you own a gun? And personally, oh man, guns freak me out. When I was a kid, I went hunting. All right, I went hunting, tried to shoot a rabbit, accidentally hit the magician. All right, it was the second worst birthday party I've ever been to. Absolutely horrible. I like Anaheim, though. It's pretty cool. It's cool depending what you want to do. You know what I mean? You like Disneyland? Yo, move to Anaheim. You know what I mean? Like, you like good bars, good restaurants? Move to Anaheim. You know what I mean? You like really good drugs? Move to Costa Mesa. All right, Costa Mesa is the better place to do that kind of stuff, I feel like. Well, what's fun, man, is since I'm so close to LA, I got to do a lot of acting, which is really, really fun. You may have seen me on some things. You may have seen me on like TV or movies or Craigslist. You know what I mean? Good. Just the credits. What's strange about it, though, is I feel like every time I get one of these auditions, they always call me in to be a cholo, all right? And Cholo's like a Mexican gangster, and you can tell how tough I am by the way I pronounce Cholo. All right, I do not look or sound like a tough Cholo. Okay, I look like a Cholo who loves like hummus and early Blink-182. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna steal your wallet, but I might steal your heart. Where are you? You know what I mean? It's a good time. It's a good time. I love it, man. What's weird about acting and stuff is before the pandemic, there was this there was this way that everything would go down. Like they would send you the script, they would send you where the audition was, you would go there, you would take off your pants. It was a whole thing, all right? It was great. But now, as everyone's like doesn't want to be in the same place, you know, just being safe. So now they have this thing called a self-tape where they'll send you the audition, they'll send you the script, you tape yourself doing it, send it over, hopefully at the movie, hopefully at the TV show. And I know this is special, it's supposed to be professional and everything, but I actually have some self-tapes due in a couple days. Could I practice some of these auditions right now? Do you guys mind? A couple quick things. We're professional, but you know, let's also get some work. All right, cool, let's do it. I'm going out for this one role called Pregnant Plumber. So here we go. This is my audition for Pregnant Plumber. Let me know what you think. Pregnant Plumber, Pregnant Plumber. Here we go. Pregnant Plumber, here we go. My water broke. All right, this next one. Yeah, come see, come stop. All right, perfect. Love it, love it, love it. The second one is for a role, it's Evil Villain Number 2. All right, I'm going out for Evil Villain Number 2. Let's see how it works out. Evil Villain Number 2. Let's try it out. Evil Villain Number 2. Evil Villain Number 2. Here we go. I cannot wait to be your mother-in-law. All right, this last one. All right, a little bit. We'll see, we'll see. This last one I like a lot. It's actually, the role is Man with the Largest Penis in the World. All right? Going out for a role, Man with the Largest Penis in the World. Here we go. Man with the largest penis in the world. Man with the largest penis. Eric, you got this, you got this. Here we go, here we go. Hi, my name is Vlad. There you go. Happy 2 months. All right, I hope it's... She's like, oh, now she's the nodder. All right, cool, I'll take it. I'll take it. You guys are cool, you guys are cool. I love it, man. Acting's really fun. I feel like I get a lot of these like tough guy roles, like, oh, be a bouncer, be a cholo. And it's weird because I'm not a tough guy, all right? I'm not a tough guy. Like my dad was a tough guy, and you can tell how hard a guy is by the way he sneezes, all right? That's how tough a man is. Like my dad sneezes like he's in a metal band, all right? Like every day he's just like, brah, brah, brah. I'm like, bless you, oh my God. I've never had a tough sneeze. I walk around with a cold, I sound like a Pokemon, all right? I'm just walking around being like, ooh, cute, you know? It's the cutest way to catch COVID, you know what I mean? It's great. I wanted to be more tough, so I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something I've wanted to do my whole life, and I'm actually gonna train to be a professional wrestler, all right? We have any wrestling fans in the house? Any wrestling fans? Few, hell yeah. I feel like I can guess people's favorite wrestlers pretty easily. Do you mind if I try to guess yours? All right, cool. I'm feeling maybe, are you a rock person? Dwayne Johnson? Maybe. Who'd you say is like your number one?
Probably have to go with, oh my God, I'm blanking on his name.
She's like, I love this wrestler so much. I love them. They're great.
Oh, Rey Mysterio.
Oh, Rey Mysterio, 619. Hell yeah. Booyaka, booyaka. I like how the biggest applause break was for someone saying Rey Mysterio. All right, this is going to be a good special. This is going to be great. Fix it in post. I feel like people, like we're about probably the same age, and I feel like everyone in our generation usually has one of two favorite wrestlers. You know what I mean? It's either The Rock, clap it up for Dwayne. We love Dwayne, he's great. Or it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Give me a hell yeah! Hell yeah! And you can always tell who likes who, you know what I mean? They always like The Rock if they like swagger, charisma. They always like Stone Cold Steve Austin if they're white. You know what I mean? That is how you usually figure it out. I love being a wrestler, man. I had a cool finishing move. I would get the guy's head, throw it right into the mat. Some people call it an RKO. Some people call it a diamond cutter. My boss calls it a fireable offense. So if anyone's hiring, I'd be great. I loved wrestling, man, because I watched my whole life. So for me, professional wrestling is like Jesus Christ, all right? Like, think about it. One, tons of people all over the world follow it religiously. And two, it's real, all right? It's absolutely real. There you go. I love being a wrestler. I quit after my last match. My last match was horrible, absolutely horrible, because I get in the ring, I know what I'm going to do, my opponent knows what we're going to do. He decides to go off script, and this guy ends up legitimately headbutting me in the dick. Real headbutt, straight to the dick. I'm freaking out. It's the first time I've seen anyone get a concussion. You know what I'm talking about, lady? Boom! Nay! There you go. It's gross. When I was a wrestler, I feel like I was a bigger guy. I was pushing like 300 pounds when I was a wrestler, but I'm very happy to announce over the last few years, I've actually lost about 120 pounds, guys. Lost 120 pounds, thank you. And when you imagine that, everyone's get curious. They're like, oh, how'd you lose 120 pounds? And I always tell them, I got circumcised. All right, that's what I did. Little sip, 119 here, save one for the homies. All right, just in case, we'll see. I did lose a bunch of weight. I did it by exercising every morning. I would take a bike ride. A couple days ago, I actually woke up super early, got on my bike, went to my favorite coffee shop, got some coffee, came outside, and discovered that someone stole just my bike seat. Can you believe that? Just the bike seat. Not the whole bike, just the bike seat, which is so dumb because before I used to like to bike, but now I love to bike. You know what I'm talking about? Vroom, vroom. Oh man, I tried everything. I was like trying to eat better. I did Blue Apron. You guys know Blue Apron? Pretty fun. Every week they send you a box full of ingredients, recipes, and you burn everything and order a pizza. All right, it really is pretty delicious. It's just weird losing all the weight because I feel like people treat you differently, which is so dumb. Like I remember when I was like 300 pounds and single, women would never talk to me, all right? Now I'm like 170, 175. My mom takes my calls. All right, thank you, Mom. I appreciate it. But I did everything, man. I was trying all the diets. I was on one diet that was wild, all right? Instead of eating, I would only smoke cigarettes. All right, it was fantastic. You lose a ton of weight in the beginning, and then a bunch more during chemo. All right, it is wonderful. I told that joke at a cancer benefit a couple months ago, and it killed. Absolutely killed. All right, we made it. We got there. What I hate about losing all the weight is people do treat you differently, and I think it's weird because when you're an adult, you end up learning, like, you have self-esteem, you're a good person, you have confidence, you can deal with it. But as a kid, we just start teaching kids, like, I don't care how big you are, how small you are, what race you are, what you look like, everyone's a beautiful person, all right? Everyone's a beautiful person. All of you in here, you're great people. But as a kid, I remember I was so insecure about my weight that I used to cut myself. Giant pieces of cake to hide the pain. And they were delicious. Absolutely delicious. Oh, man. Traveling around is great. I get to learn the difference between different things in the world. I recently learned the difference between a motel and a hotel. You guys know the difference between a motel and a hotel? All right, a hotel, all your doors, they open up indoors, all right? In a motel, you get mugged, all right? It is very, very exciting. Then you just headbutt them right in the... Yeah, all right, cool. Don't worry about it. I feel like it's great doing comedy, but my mom always wanted me to have a real job. My mom was always like, oh, Eric, you gotta be a nurse. She wanted me to be a nurse. And I was never a nurse, but I learned a fun fact about the medical field. Does anyone here work in the medical industry? Anyone at all? Any nurses, any doctors, anything like that? Cool, we're all gonna learn something today. Fun fact, if you see someone who needs medical attention and they're unconscious, help them, be a good person. But if you see someone who needs medical attention and they're still aware and conscious, you have to ask them for consent to help. Or if anything goes wrong, what can they do? Sue you, exactly. So now if I see someone who needs help and they're still aware, they're still conscious, I have to go up to them and choke them out. You know what I mean? There you go. I can finally help you. Nay! That wasn't appropriate. I've had a lot of weird jobs. First job I've had, worked at Disneyland. We got any Disney people in the house? Anyone like Disney? Super fun. Who's been to Disneyland in the past year or two? Anyone in here? A few people. Right over here. What's the last ride you remember being on? Your favorite ride? Pirates of the Caribbean. Super fun ride. I actually used to work on Pirates, but I didn't like riding it because here's the thing. You ride that and then you're wet all day. You know what I mean? Which is also my old Tinder bio. But what's crazy about Pirates is it doesn't accommodate plus-sized people, which is super annoying. And it was annoying when I worked on the ride because if someone was too big to fit on the ride, we would have to apologize to them by giving them a free meal voucher. All right? Is that okay? All right, that's like trying to check into rehab and they're like, oh, sorry, all filled up, but here's some crack. You know what I mean? I've had a lot of jobs working with kids, which has been really, really fun. I used to work with kids who were autistic, but I messed up because during the job interview, I thought they said artistic. All right, so I get there on the first day and I'm like, whoa, y'all can't draw for shit. All right, neither. Except for you, Timmy. Is that the Sistine Chapel? Oh my God, beautiful. Here, some toothpicks. You guys got that good Rain Man reference? All right, that's common enough in 2023. All right, we all need a good Dustin Hoffman Rain Man reference. As well, I have another gigger that I used to do. It was super fun. I would teach improv to kids in juvenile hall, which is super, super great. But it's weird because they're like 15-year-old murderers. And you're like, hey, you want to do some musical theater? You know what I mean? Like that? Spike? You want to do some musical theater, Spike? That would be great. One time I was in this workshop and I was like, all right, guys, can I get a suggestion? We're going to do an improv scene. And this kid all the way in the back just shouts out, peanut butter jelly sandwich. All right? The whole place starts rioting. I don't know what's going on. A security guard pulls me to the side and he's like, didn't you know peanut butter jelly sandwich is underground gang talk for we're about to shank someone? No, that is not common knowledge. All right? Like, I've never been in a situation where it's been like, can I have your PB&J? Oh yeah, sure. Ah, why'd you do that? I warned you. You know, I'm very odd. One of the craziest jobs I ever had, I used to live in the Redwood Forest up in Northern California. Anyone here like ever been to the Redwoods, been to the Redwood Forest up in NorCal? Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I loved it, but at the time I was younger, I was single, and it's really hard to date and bring girls home when you live in the forest, all right? Very difficult. They're always like, this is really creepy, and get me out of your trunk. You know what I mean? It is very interesting. I loved it, man. I was working at a summer camp for kids with disabilities. It was beautiful. Whenever my kids were really sweet, I would give them all Capri Suns. Whenever they were assholes, I would give them all Capri Suns with the straws ripped off. And apparently that made me a bad person because they were all amputees. You know what I mean? Oh, screw you guys. That is my favorite joke. All right, that is my favorite joke. Hands down. All right, we made it. Thank you. Thank you. Oh man, I went to school for theater. I always wanted to do theater. I went to college out here in LA because my whole dream, my whole life was to move out to Hollywood to drive for Uber. So that's working out pretty well. I love it, man. I loved going to college. I love psychology. Any psych majors in the house? Sociology majors. Super, super fun field. I remember learning about the Oedipus complex. Are you guys familiar with the Oedipus complex? Very fascinating theory where if you're a man, you secretly want to have sex with your mom, and if you're a girl, you secretly want to have sex with your dad, which is kind of fascinating because every woman I've dated has been a lot like my mom, all right? They've all been like kind of annoying, kind of naggy, and fucked my dad. You know what I mean? It is pretty... It's a theme. It's a theme. I feel like my favorite class I ever had growing up was in 6th, 7th grade. Remember sex ed? Hell yeah! Sex ed was great. I don't know, y'all, they do the thing where they would separate like the boys in one class and the girls in the other class. I don't know if they did this in the girls' class. Did they teach you how to put on a condom with your mouth? No? Right in the confessional? You know what I mean? All the cameras, what's going on, Father? It was really a wonderful time. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I was talking about being married. I love my partner very much. Where are single people at? Single people, make some noise. A few people, beautiful. Being single is great, man. Okay, guys, so I had this ex, and she would want to have sex like 4 or 5 times a day. 4 or 5 times a day. And if I was lucky, one of those times would be with me. All right, what's... And then we broke up, and it was crazy. I remember I was like super upset about it. I got drunk one night, went back to my apartment, opened up my laptop, went on Internet Explorer, ended up on a site called Cosmopolitan. Do you guys know Cosmopolitan? Mainly for the ladies. That's the one to explain. I was very drunk, all right? Because it's really embarrassing as a man to still use Internet Explorer. And there's this really cute article about cuddling in a relationship. Like I learned in a man-woman relationship, if the woman lies on her back at night and the man is the one holding her, spooning her, it means the woman has a higher status in the relationship. All right, very interesting. The next one was the exact opposite, but it's how I cuddle, so that was really cute. It's the one where the guy is on his back and the girl just isn't there. A little tougher, a little tougher. Me and my partner, we met online, which is beautiful. I don't really like online dating. I don't like Tinder. Like, I don't want to tell my kids I met their mom while I was drunk on the toilet swiping right. You know what I mean? Like, that's not cute. But it's weird. I feel like every online dating website has just like the worst marketing department. You know what I mean? Just weird names. Like OkCupid. Give me a good Cupid, all right? Like, why is my Cupid just okay? I'm not trying to find a partner at the DMV, all right? Do better your job. Or Christian Mingle. That sounds like the name of like an English pimp. You know what I mean? Like, hello, I'm Christian. I don't do accents. All right, we're good. I remember going on Black People Meet. Y'all know Black People Meet? Great site. Just if you use it, you do not want to spell meat wrong. All right, that is a completely different website. You know what I'm talking about? I was looking at messages. I'm like, oh, who could it be? Whoa, it doesn't fit on the screen. Oh, my Lord. Love weed. Who smokes weed in here? Shout out for weed. Love it. I remember when weed was illegal, and it was so weird. I remember I was coming home from a gig one time, and this other comic gives me like a handful of nugs, all right? By the way, not a bag of weed, a handful of nugs, all right? You heard right? Took it right out of his cardigan pocket, and just, here you go. Thank you, sir. And I remember I was driving home, handful of weed, and this cop starts to pull me over. I don't know what to do. I can't hide it. He's going to smell it. I can't throw it out the window. He's going to see it. I do the only thing I think I can do to save my ass in the situation, and I put the weed where? Up my butt, all right? Boom, right in there like a Dyson, you know what I mean? When something's close to your asshole, one of two things happens. Either it closes off, nothing's going in there. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. Or you get sucked right up. That's what happened to me. The weed, boom, right in there. I'm freaking out. The cop knocks on my window. He's like, sir, do you know I pulled you over? I look at him and I'm like, no. And he's like, well, your tail light's out. And I'm like, oh, now I got two problems with my rear end. You know what I mean? Absolutely horrible. Did not get a ticket. Found a whole new way to get high, though. You know what I mean? It's a good sub. It's a good sub. I'm happy I'm here. This has been a really fun time. I'm kind of in a weird mood, though. Me and my wonderful partner, we got in a fight. Our first big fight last night. Our first big fight. She woke me up at 3 a.m, and she was like, Eric, we didn't use protectant tonight. I'm not using birth control. You got to buy some Plan B right now. Right now. I'm a man. I don't mind buying Plan B at 3 a.m. I just hate the way it tastes. All right, it is very chalky. But she's really we're both really sensitive about that kind of stuff. Actually, the first month we were dating, she actually got pregnant, all right, which was horrifying. I can't afford a kid. She can't afford a kid. She decided that we shouldn't have this baby. So I wanted to be a good partner, be a good support system. I was the one who called, made the appointment, drove her over there. They're doing the procedure. I'm crying. She's crying. I'm holding her hand. They're finally done, and we just want to go home. We just want to go home. We leave. We get to my car, and that's when I realized I locked my keys in the car, in the parking lot of the clinic. All right? Like, do y'all realize how embarrassing it is to have to walk back into an abortion clinic and ask to borrow a coat hanger? All right, it is the worst. Hey, no, there you go, baby. You guys are great. You guys are great. Gotta get out of here pretty soon. Got tattoos? Any tattooed people in here? Any tattooed people? Hell yeah. I just started using this thing called tattoo numbing cream. Anyone here use a numbing cream? Anyone do that? I just started using it. It takes me 5 hours to come. All right, it is. All right, I've been having a great time. Thank you so much for coming out. Appreciate it. You guys are wonderful. I will say this, if you're enjoying yourself, a great way you can support live comedy, go out and see more comedy, support your favorite local comedian. If there's a comic that you know, you think they're really funny, a great free way you can support them, follow on Instagram, follow them on social media. I do this thing after every show, and I know this is special, but I just want to put it out there just in case we got any takers. I sell these Erik Escobar lighters. Everyone go, woo! They're pretty fun. I'll have some after the special if you guys want to grab them up. They got my name on them, Erik Escobar. You can follow me on Instagram there. And it's crazy because after every show I do, I sell them for $5. And I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking because after every show I do this spiel, and people always come up to me and they always say, like, Eric, $5 for a lighter. That's way too expensive.